Hello, my wonderful, beautiful brothers and wonderful, beautiful brothers, guys of the Maverick Nation, and welcome to the official Season 2 of one of My Hero Academia PkMn Crossover. It's back, babies! Season 2! Yep, Season 2. You thought I left it, didn't you? You thought I left. This unfinished. No, I don't do that. No. You got me all wrong. And how could you do this on the day of my daughter's wedding? You're like a Gestapo out here. Gestapo on the day of my daughter's wedding. Oh my god. Oh. Anyways, may not be the day of my daughter's wedding, so, but whatever. You get the idea. You get the general idea. You guys thought I had. You guys thought I had pulled out. You know, not willing to finish what I had started, but wrong. I am finishing what I'm starting with part 1 of Season 2, otherwise known as My Hero Academia PkMn Crossover Part. Last time I checked, the last one was Part 16, so Part 17. And last time I checked, we were at Gigantomaxia City, and the whole thing, the whole problem at the Pokeball factory was dealt with. So now, all we have is our heroes, ready to go toe-to-toe, ready to against Mount Lady. Now that her Rampardos has been retrieved, and everyone's got it well rested, rested in time. It's time. Woo! I feel good getting back in the groove of things. Finally. And if I remember things correctly, it's Rampardos, Stonejourner, and Lycanroc. There's your Mount Lady's Pokemon. So basically, we would actually be starting out at the gym. And Mount Lady would actually be courteous enough to personally grade Izuku and company. That's Shoto and Mina, for those of you that either forgot or didn't know already. And plus Bakugo, seeing as he seems to, tag around regardless of what happens. And, Bakugo did indeed participate in helping her get her Rampardos, her female Rampardos, Rampy, back. Yes, she even gave her the name Rampy. So, yeah. You can see she's clearly very attached to her little Rampy. Anyways, this all comes to no surprise to Izuku, considering, body language 101, and even, the urgency in her voice whenever dealing with the whole thing of, having to lose her Rampy. No, don't lose a Rampy. Anyways, this is basically, a actual, personal greeting from the gym leader herself, actually escorting them to the area in which whoever is gonna challenge her, they're going to be fighting her Pokemon. And seeing as, Izuku giving Bakugo that no one look, and Bakugo giving Izuku that no one look, and they're basically like, oh, we would both like to challenge you at the same time this time. This time, we're both going in at the same time. And, really, Lady's not really up to reject. So, normally she would send out Rampardos first, but, seeing as how important her little Rampy is to her, and, the fact that she almost lost, Rampardos forever, she decides she's going to flip the script. Instead, both Stonejourner and Lycanroc come out. I was like, Stonejourner, Lycanroc, let's do this. Let's rock their world. And Bakugo was like, oh, so the gym leader here is that kind of geeky shit. And Izuku would just be like, Bakugo, what the fuck? What man, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, hentai much? And Bakugo would be like, no, hentai would more have to be like, and then Izuku would be like, no, nobody needs to hear that, buddy. Nobody needs to freaking hear that. And actually, Izuku would see Mina with some very interesting reading material, and Shoto would be like, you mean like that? And Mina would be like, must protect hentai. And Izuku would be like, why am I not freaking surprised? At this point, anyways, aside from one of my friend's creepy obsession with hentai, apparently, I didn't know up until now, just now. Let's do this, Bakugo. Let's melt some faces. And Bakugo was just like, oh, I'm gonna do more than melt some faces. I'm gonna go in the charge with a Chemchar. That's right, buddy. Go, Chemchar! Chemchar! And, Plusle gives Chemchar a knowing look. And, Izuku just seeing that happen, it's like, Plusle, you wanna go? And Plusle's like, hell yeah! And so it's like Plusle and Chemchar versus a freaking Stonejourner and Lycanroc. And basically, Metal Lady's even, nice enough to give them the first move. And Izuku's like, why do I feel like this is gonna bite us in the ass in the end? And Bakugo's like, gosh, shut up, Izuku. Chemchar, Flame Wheel. Chop chop. And Chemchar's just like, chop chop! I was like, and Izuku's like, Bakugo, that may not be the best idea to hit Stonejourner with that. And Bakugo's like, why? And then all of a sudden, Stonejourner Mega Kick. It was like, kicks Chemchar right in the freaking jaw. Like, boom! And, Stonejourner's legs are freaking huge. Like, dude definitely does not skip leg day. We all know that. The only day he skips is head day. I'm not talking about the head down here. Because he definitely does not skip leg day. Stonejourner does not skip leg day at all. He just boom! And hits Chemchar in the real nasty spot. Chemchar just skids into the ground, but gets ready with Chemchar! Chemchar! And then all of a sudden, some heat would kick up from Chemchar's body, and that would basically be the sign. And Bakugo would be like, oh, hell yeah! Not only are my Pokemon tough as nails, but you just activated the ability time. And Izuku would be like, oh yeah, Blaze. I almost forgot about that. And Mount Lady would be like, oh, your Chimchar has the ability Blaze. How nice. Anyways, how about you? Izuku, I remember. And Izuku's like, well then. Not get puzzle kicked in the face, so let's do this. Thunderbolt Puzzle, Lycanroc. like Bustle just points in Lycanroc's direction and just shoots a Thunderbolt, boom! And it's like, it's like, Stonejourner, get in front of the Thunderbolt. And freaking taking advantage of the fact that Plusle's like experimented on, Izuku decides to try something. Change course of the Thunderbolt! And Mount Lady's like, wait, what? Nani? And it was like, smack! And like, light! And freaking Mount Lady's like, hell no, this is some crazy shit. That's not supposed to happen. And Stonejourner's just like kicking Lycanroc in the face, like, dude, you still conscious? And Lycanroc is just like, Lycanroc. Scuff, like, and Mount Lady's like, something's wrong. That was way too powerful to be a normal Thunderbolt. And he was able to change course like easy as like a 1,000-degree knife versus freaking butter. So yeah, something is not right here. And well, so yeah, this is not expected. A non-expected turn of events. And so yeah, now it's like Lycanroc, use Fairy Slice. I was like, Lycanroc. And they're basically going after both Plusle and Chimchar. And Buggy was just getting pissed at this point and be like, Chimchar, fire spin action time. And Chimchar would just be like, Chimchar! And Mount Lady would be like, oh shit, this might have been a bad idea. And then all of a sudden, Lycanroc would just be like, just like freaking a heap in the middle of the battlefield. Just like a heap, falling into a heap. Like scorched and electrified. So, yeah, like nuclear electricity as well. Guidable nuclear electricity. Yeah, that's, plus that fire empowered by the Blaze, so... And we're not talking about Blaze from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Not Armageddon. What the f am I talking about here? So, yeah, oh boy. And so Lycanroc is basically just like facing the dirt. Like, basically, like, Molly's like, yeah, return Lycanroc. Go, Rappy! And it's like, portals. And Izuku at this point is just like, well, shit. And his right is like, Plusle's about to like Izuku's like, Plusle! Use Thunderbolt! And all of a sudden, like, Rampardos, his head starts to glow blue. Like, the top of its head starts to glow a vibrant blue energy. And Like, he's just like, what's up with that? And Melanie would just be like, Rampardos, Zen headbutt. And we're like, whoop, smack. And plus soul is a sleepy boy. Or girl. And he's gonna be like, oh shit. Oh, me fuck. Like, Grandpa was just like, boom, bitch, get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Like, ludicrous on ass. Like, shit. And so, yeah, that's just like domination. Like, the domination station. So he's like thinking, okay, I think I can still do this. Let's see. Think, Izuku, think. And he's just like, go, Blastoise! Blastoise. And Mountain Lady's like, oh, he knows about typing. Well, he wouldn't have gotten this far unless he did know, so it can only be expected. Let's do this. And Bakugo just seeing what happened to Plusle after one Zen headbutt from Rampy, Mountain Lady's Rampardos. It was like, damn, that is not the good. That is not the goodness at all. And so, Bakugo's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, Jimjari's kicked in the teeth again by Stonejourner. Stonejourner's like a freaking double kick this time, like, so 2 kicks, like, bam, bam. And Jimjari's like, Char. And it was like, this Chimchar is not willing to go down. As long as Bakugo wills it, this thing is ready to stay in the fight. Unless against its any better judgment about its own health. And that's what Mount Lady is like beginning to notice. Like, this is not healthy for Pokemon. Just be so blindly loyal to this factoid. We need to do something about this very, very fast. And with that Blastoise out, that's going to become a problem to do. And so we're just like, he's going to be like, Blastoise, Hydro Pump! And basically, Mountain Lady's like, Rampardos, jump up in the air and then headbutt. And Izuku now remember, like, basically looking and seeing if that thing lands down on the ground, the very thing it's going to be facing whenever it goes to use its Zen headbutt is going to be Bakugo's Chimchar. And, Izuku's like trying to change trajectory, but Mountain Lady's like, Stonejourner, get in the way, Double Edge. I was like, shh. It hit against Blastoise, but at the last second he was like, withdraw! I was like, like hard exterior against hard exterior, bam! Like, they just both, like Blastoise is now, like, have a freaking concussion, and Stonejourner is now, like, freaking out. It's just, like, rammed straight into a hard surface shell of a Blastoise. And Malay was like, wow, I really did not think that through. And I returned Stonejourner. Oh god, this is embarrassing. And he was like, well, what do you think I feel? Like, literally, Blastoise, I don't even think knows where it is. Like, I don't even think Blastoise knows where he is. And Blastoise is like, he, like, little, the chair went, like, freaking concussion mode. And so now, Blastoise is kind of immobile, so, like, he's just like, return Blastoise, go. Cox back and he's like, Muna! And he's like, Muna's like, Moon! And my lady's like, contemplation, Sherlock Holmes mode. You know, like the looker in Pokemon games, like the looker. And I'm not talking about that sweetness, which is her appearance. But, still not waifu enough. Anyways. Not even waifu for laifu. That's definitely not that. No, not that apparel. Anyways. Melody's kind of like facing the music. Basically, like Izuku predicted, like smack, like right with that Zen headbutt. And, you know, Chimchar was kind of like blown back as like staggering to stay on his feet. And then Rampardo's just like, poke! And it's like, Chimchar just like falls. But now without giving freaking Rampardos a glare that matches Bakugo's glares against Izuku. Like, pissed as hell right before it falls. Like, pissed as hell. And Melody realizing that, oh yeah, this is definitely not healthy. And basically, leaves Izuku to be like, Muna! I got a stretch there. Muna uses your own Zen headbutt. And Melody's kind of got by that. Like, wait, what? And it's like, Rampy, use your own Zen headbutt as well. So Zen headbutt versus Zen headbutt. It was like, boom! And it's just like, they both, like, they hit both, like, so hard against each other that something actually happens. A wide aura envelops one of the sides, nobody can really tell. And all of a sudden, like, freaking mists are coming out of nowhere. And Rampardos actually accidentally, breathes it in. And Melody just ended up realizing, wait, that's Dream Mist! And he's just like, wait, what? Element of white light. Dream Mist. Oh shit! And it's like, Muna, you evolved into Musharna! And Dream Mist. And then he just sees Rampardos like, and, Mount Lady just looking dejected as all hell. And just like, here, damn it, get your freaking badge. Like, this is just like, why? Like, why me? Here, the giant badge. And basically, Zuko's like, don't feel too bad. And Mountain Lady's just like, don't feel too bad. Got knocked out by the freaking Dream Mist. Stupid. And by the time Rampardos actually wakes up, he's like, and like Mountain Lady's like, Just like seeing Rampardos looking around for like everybody, like freaking out lady, just like, they're all gone, Rampy. They're all gone. And they took the badge. I mean, literally, what were you thinking, little girl? What were you thinking? That shit is obviously dream mist. Well, wait, that means that the freaking evolved. Musharna. Like, this just now clicked into that lady's head. That just now clicked. Musharna. And, well, that's the icing on the cake. Or at least that would be, as until, well, figuring out that, we just keep on going the same day that we're going until they get to the coast of Gigantomaxius. And, well, all that's really there is just some rocks kind of acting like a little hinder as like obstacles. Everyone's already went to the Pokemon Center and got their Pokemon healed. So all that really there's left is, Hawks really didn't give them much directions after what was initially said. So they just continued surfing south. Blastoise finally not having a concussion anymore. And Bakugo does indeed have a softy moment where he kind of, acknowledges while they're all surfing, he acknowledges that Chimchar, even though it lost, it was damn near determined to stay awake to the point where it actually mastered his glare in order to glare at Rampardos. He actually acknowledges that. I think, he actually thinks they might be perfect for each other. He's fully accepting Chimchar now. It's even able to master his type of glare at a Pokemon that just knocked the frick out of it right before it falls. Right before Chimchar fell, it mastered Bakugo's glare in the matter of a split second before fainting. I mean, to Bakugo, that's dedication. Mass dedication. And he's just secretly thinking to himself, not so secret, if you were to ask Mina and Shoto though, not really so secretly because they can kind of tell from the expression on his face. I was Salandit was dedicated. I was he would just be thinking that, Salandit was dedicated. Dude, do you only have one setting on your brain? Apparently you have 1.5 because you were able to show some love to your Chimchar, but that's only because it stayed dedicated till the end. Even Salandit had enough sense to actually know when to back the frick down. So, are you only, happy with Pokemon that are exactly like you, asshole? That's just what is stewing in the middle of Izuku's brain as they're all surfing directly south. And then they just hit something. And, well, what they hit is basically the edge of some sort of large mass. And basically, someone, runs straight up towards them, and they're just oh, hey there. And they're just they haven't even gotten off a Blastoise. And they're just oh, hello, who the hell are you? And the person is just oh, the name's Mei Hatsume, and I am a friend of the gym leader here. You guys may or may not know where you are. You just now entered Gunheadopolis City. And Izuku's wait, the gym leader is Gunhead. Why is this place named after the gym leader? And May just is hop off your Pokemon and I'll explain that. Or at least try to the best of my ability. Technically, this place did have another name before what actually happened to get the name change. But what actually happened to get the name change is so, like, freaking important to the history of this place that not many people remember the old name. Like, it was so important to the safety of our lives that we, as a token of our gratitude, renamed it after him. After all, it was his magnet zone that allowed help to arrive just in time to keep us from all getting genocided by our own home. Or at least the equivalent of what you just bumped into out of our own home. Yeah, you'll find that this place has a general similarity to Cinnabar Island of the Kanto region. And he was like, well, what's that? Well, what you just bumped into, mister. Like, maybe would be like, well, what you just bumped into, mister, is an exact example of that. Only the difference, Cinnabar's volcano, before it erupted, well, that basically tells you everything. It was an active volcano. This volcano, however, due to the efforts of Gunhead and those that he used his magnet zone to send a message to help, and just how fast it actually got there because of magnet zone's power, his magnet zone's power, well, now it is no longer an active volcano. It's actually, for several hundreds of years, or at least in more dilated time. That's how long it will stay this way. Or at least that way you can assure it will be able to stay this way. Basically, after several hundred years, most things will be left to chance, and it will be able to become active again. But for the meantime, it's mostly highly inactive volcano. That's the difference in between Gunheadopolis City and Cinnabar Island. Cinnabar Island's volcano was indefinitely active. However, this, like Gunheadopolis' volcano, is inactive because of Gunhead's and his own magnet zones and other Pokemon's efforts, and the help that came afterwards. We basically made it to where the volcano has become dormant and basically mostly, if not completely, inactive, at least from the perspective of certain people. And there's even certain people disguised as random mass civilians that are currently in Gunheadopolis City, where we are right now, just in case anything were to ever happen to reawaken Gunheadopolis City's volcano. So as you can see, we took a lot more precautions than whoever the hell was in charge of looking after Cinnabar Island's volcano, but we best not speak ill of the dead. And that's whenever Izuku remembers, oh yeah, that's right, the eruption of Cinnabar Island's volcano. Shit, yeah, best not speak ill of the dead. Technically, one of my Pokemon is the dead, so basically, just pops up mischievous, just like to basically show what he meant whenever said one of his Pokemon is technically one of the dead. Because, ghost type. And actually, May actually thinks, wait a second. The time in which you guys got here, did you find this mischievous in Night Hour Town? And he's just like, yeah, why? Are you interested? And, May's like, well, before I started helping Gunhead with his natural watch, you can't just be the gym leader and also be the natural watcher of a inactive volcano just in case it becomes active again, so randomly somehow. just by yourself, with only moderate help from your Pokemon and the time being. So I decided I would help him. But in order to do that, I needed to move over to Gunheadopolis. And my previous location was Night Hour Town. And I knew a person there that liked to pull pranks. However, well, something happened and I was informed that they had died. Their favorite Pokemon before their death, they told me what their favorite Pokemon was. And that they told me also why they never told me before. Because they were afraid that they would get looked down upon because their favorite Pokemon was a ghost type. And that favorite Pokemon of theirs was Misdreavus. And it's Misdreavus, Misdreavus would basically be wide awake now and like, Misdreavus? And be right in front of May's face and would be like, Misdreavus! Misdreavus! And just grab May with psychic and just be like the closest thing I could do to a hug. And he's gonna be like, wait, you're May's dead friend? And Misdreavus would be like, Misdreavus, Misdreavus, Misdreavus! And so Izuku would just be like, wow, it's awesome that I was able to help you guys reunite. But, like you said, I can't Misdreavus. So, and I don't exactly plan to stay here for too long anyways. And May's like, well, I'm fine with that, just as long as you make sure to take care of Misdreavus. I mean, whenever I knew them as a human, they were not just a prankster, but they had not exactly the best intentions in terms of taking care of themselves. Something I heard the definition of it, self-loathing. That might also have been because the fact that they bottled up inside their opinion about their favorite Pokemon in order to keep from being ridiculed by the people of Night Hour Town. The only person who seemed to actually give them, asylum whenever their own parents wouldn't do that were me, at least I tried to, and, well, I ended up finding assistance in the gym leader himself, Shotai Zawa. And Izuku was like, really? And, May would just be like, yeah. It was really nice. It was like a family that I never knew I wanted, but I had. And I never really knew that until it was too late. And, right as soon as I knew it was too late, basically, it would just be like, Misdreavus would basically just be like, given, May the look like, oh, don't worry, Izuku's a great guy. He even takes care of me very well. Anyway, I forget to take care of myself. And Izuku's like, well, he's not going to deny it. He actually is very good at helping Misdreavus. Actually. And now that he knows about the whole self-loathing thing whenever it was a living person, he's going to take extra care to make sure. Plus, he even knows about the fact that in the previous life, it was just Mei Hatsume's person's friend. So he's going to take extra care for Misdreavus now. Because not only does he know that Misdreavus was previously a living person, but that living person was Mei Hatsume's, best friend. And Izuku's like, well, if it doesn't hurt, would you mind telling me the name of your friend? So I know what to call Misdreavus from now on? And May would just be like, oh. Well, I guess it's better sooner than never. Her name was Shitomi Shimura. And, Izuku would be like, wait, Shimura? Like, Nana Shimura? And, there would be like a little bit of a tick whenever Mischievous would hear the name Nana Shimura. And be like, Mischievous. And Izuku would be like, oh, I seem to have pressed some buttons. Remembering about what May said about all parents and thing. And May would just be like, yeah, Shitomi was indeed the adopted daughter of Nana Shimura, as she was a hero, so she was expected to help those in need. Keep the image up. So, reluctantly, she did adopt Shitomi. At least that's the name that was given to her by Nana. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a name because she was basically abandoned at birth. Well, that's at least what I was told. And Izuku's just like, wow, like, doing the bare minimal basics just to help this person, whenever, as a hero, it should be the priority. He just looks at Nana Shimura in a whole totally different light. Like it is true that they helped, have, Shitomi a home, but still, it was only the bare minimal basics of help to give. So, Izuku isn't so sure right now about, what exactly, and this is, everything about this seems wrong. And, Izuku would just be, curious, Mischievous, do you remember having any sort of, relatives besides Shitomi? I mean, besides Nana? And Mischievous would be like, Mischievous! And Izuku would be like, wait, you're not saying the guy who's been following us for the duration of however the hell long, even whenever we had to deal with the legendary birds, he's a relative of yours? Or it was? Mischievous! Oh yeah, his name. Wait, that's not actually his name? Well, then what is? And Mischievous is like, Mischievous! Kenko Shimura? Well, then why did he call himself Shigaraki Tomura? And Mischievous would just be like, Mischievous. And Izuku would be like, oh, that is not a good look to have on Mischievous' face. Especially his Mischievous, what is it? What happened? And Mischievous is like, Mischievous. There's another one, Venomous Glare, but this one, Nana, the glare that happened whenever Nana's name was mentioned isn't nearly as bad as this one, because this one looks like you could legit, if looks could kill, Izuku and Mei both would be pulverized deep into the earth, beyond 6 feet under. By now, this is a venomous glare like no other, with no antidote, no hope of even getting close before you died. Close to one. And, just from gathering all of this, Izuku's the leader of Team LOV, the true leader, did that? Oh my god. Mischievous, I'm so sorry. And Mischievous would be like, give him one of those looks don't be. You're not my actual relative, just adopted me. And, barely even knew freaking Shigaraki as it was. Tenko. Barely even knew Tenko. There were only even seldom memories of, pleasant times whenever he was actually around. And those seem to be fading more and more as, Mischievous' existence as Mischievous, continues on. And so, yeah. And then you just hear a resounding boom! Right as everything is going on. And it seems that following the sound and a plume of smoke that seems to be coming out of one of the buildings. Excuse-moi. That building seems to be the gym building. And May's like, oh shit. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Those guys are way too sketchy to be friendly. Especially the guy that was leading them around. And Mischievous would be like, Mischievous? And Mischievous would just go off, dart off in direction, oh shit, this might be serious shit. Serious serial shit. So, yeah, and then basically whenever they all catch up to Mischievous, now known as, Shitomi Shimura, whenever they were alive as a human. Though, considering any association with Shimura, Mischievous might not exactly like that. And so, just Shitomi would probably be fine. Oh, she might not even want to be reminded of that, so yeah, this is impactful. And well, basically what they see is Gunhead is unconscious, his Pokemon are all unconscious. Well, Gunhead's half conscious and all of his Pokemon are unconscious. And then you just see this thing that looks like it came directly out from the inside of the volcano. Just blasted outwards and into the gym and just, wasted everything in there. It looks like a freaking mess. Something was having a shit fit. And then he gets reminded, wait, Pokemon having a shit fit? Wait, is Tapu Koko still following me? And Tapu Koko's like, yo, Tapu Koko. And Izuku's like, wait a second. Regirock, Regice, and then all of a sudden, something come, directly from underneath the earth, and, pop out and shoot us a hyper beam. And Mischievous will be, using Psychic, redirecting the hyper beam into its face, smack. But, that did, jack diddly squat. And this thing was just, from what they can tell of it, it looks very pissed off. And he was like, okay, Pokedex, come on. And I was like, Registeel. And he was just like, Regirock, Regice, Registeel. Oh, fuck. It was like, damn it. And basically, a random ass bystander, running by, is just like, you think that's bad? There are these two things that look identical to that, but only slightly different. And they were in the lab, and they just broke free as soon as this thing attacked the gem provoked by those guys. Just pointing over to some Team LOV members. And Shigaraki's just in the background, he's just listening to all this, random shit, yep, we did that. And that is until Izuku actually addresses him by his real name, Tenko Shimura, stop this! Can't you see what you're doing? It's making everything wait, what? Wait, two others? I thought there was only one other, Regigigas. Wait, no. Pokedex update? Update! Regieleki and Regidrago. And he was just like, stupid, 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 stupid. I was like, it was continuing to do that, just like, damn it. And they were inside the lab and they broke out. Like, shit. If they all find Regigigas, we are fucked. Even more than we already are now. I mean, like, it blew aside in, like, volcano, a hole in the side of the volcano. Yes, so, that's shit. That is not good at all. And Shigaraki's like, well, I will indeed admit that wasn't exactly planned for Reggie still to go that crazy. It seems the presence of Regieleki and Regidrago, and, well, also some bedlam being caused within the gem, the one protector of the volcano, besides his little help, pointing over to May, besides his little help, being taken down. We knew Registeel would come. We just didn't expect the advent of Regieleki and Regidrago to cause this much of a crisis, that it would openly blow open a hole in the volcano. And actually, the hole not being big enough, the magma just kind of coagulates in there and like superheats until there's like a big geyser of like steam that cracks through the top and ultimately causes the volcano to erupt. And Izuku's just like, fuck! Like, what the hell? And Shigaraki's like, wait, did you also address me? But why the hell did you call me that? That's not my... Wait, what? Something's happening. Wait, I'm getting a call. And Izuku's like, Tanko Shimura, this is not the time. And he's just like, oh, it's from Lord Alpha One. I wonder why that is. Bang! Like, on the back of the head, falling from the tree he was perched on. And the other members just like look at, oh, Lord Alpha One, why did you call Shigaraki if he was right there? And Alpha One would just be like, because he has failed me one too many times. I am tempted to just leave him here to die in the midst of the volcano's eruption. Right? And he would just hold a Pokeball out and be like, now let's end this. And Izuku would just note the coloration on the Pokeball and be like, oh no. And he's like, and basically, the moment that happens, basically, two things coming out of the sky, like one direction and another direction, like circling around what Izuku now knows to be Necrozma, both Lunala and Solgaleo, circling around at insane speeds, Necrozma taking them down both. And upon command, all for one's command, now absorb all light, Necrozma! And he even gives Necrozma the totem for the whole thing. And Izuku's like, no, the totem! And he tries to get the totem, but Alpha One trips him. And he lands straight on his face, only lying on his stomach to see that the Team LOV guys actually did get their own shape shots on his friends and are now restraining them. So that they have to watch too, as not only the volcano destroys everything, but the ultimate absorber of all light is unleashed upon the world. Totally unprepared for the chaos which will ensue because of Alpha One's, delusions of grandeur. And just him being himself. And that's whenever the light would just get erupt and then sucked back in. and it'd be like All for One would just be like, ah, yes, great absorber of all light. This is power. You see All Might? This is power. And he would be like, wait, what are you talking about? And he would sort of tilt his head a little and see All Might just barely arriving on the scene and be like, no! As ultimately all the light would subside down deep into the form and voila, alternate Crosma. All Might came a few seconds too late to stop the, end of probably what is left of the world at this point. And it's even noticed that Regieleki and Regidrago have also left along with Registeel. But they seem to have actually returned if any of the energy signatures, basically a bunch of energy signatures picked up on this high-tech device that All for One has. It's meant for, energy signatures that, for Ultra Necrozma to absorb at his command. But he ends up picking up energy signatures, way too many. And they seem very strong. And All for One just sees, oh god, no. He sees Regirock, Registeel, Regirock, Regiice, Registeel, Regidrago, and Regieleki. All final stand mode, ready to rock the roost with Ultra Necrozma. And Izuku's like, well, they already have an exploding volcano, so yeah, this would definitely kill everyone if this actually happened. And not only that, but as Izuku's starting to think, he actually brainstorms. And what he brainstorms is basically he just grab a couple healing items in one of his arms, just a bunch, and then he grabs one of his Pokeballs. Everyone sees this, but he's confused on what's actually going on. And then he just pops go, Musharna! And everyone's like, wait, what? And what are those items you have in your hand? Your arm's what? And take these, Musharna. The gym leader, his Pokemon. And Alphawan's like, oh, hell no! And it's just too late. And not long after that, there is the gym leader Gunhead with his Pokemon out, ready to rumble as well, to damage control, basically. Not necessarily rumble with other Pokemon, but rumble with the volcano. And, Madison basically calling out for help. And basically the help does indeed come. All for One not expecting this. Freaking the help to be in plain sight disguised as random villager folk. Or city folk. They just spring into action and automatically seize control of the volcano. And even the eruption starts to die down. And the ash that was beginning to cover the sky begins to supersede as the energy from all of these different legendaries collected in one area seems to brush that off just simply by them being there. But then they realize, every single last one of them realize that's not the case. It's from one legendary, and one legendary alone, that this brushing off of the haze that covered the sky moments ago. And it's really freaking big. And that's when Izuku remembers the final one, Regigigas. And Regigigas is now in the fray. Literally known as the continent Pokemon. Groudon is not the continent Pokemon, but it is indeed said in Regigigas Pokedex entries that it towed the continents. So yeah, that's serious strength. So just the essence of it being there would part the clouds like the haze of the volcano about to Krakatoa up in this bitch. So yeah, just Regigigas being there was like part of the clouds automatically the moment it hit the scene. And you know, Alpha was just like pull freaking hair out. That is if he had hair. He'd just be like, this is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. And Shigaraki would actually wake up because he was knocked out. Like, he would wake up and he would see all of the Reggies ready to tango with Ultra Necrozma now that the volcano is resealed. And Regigigas actually helped Gunhead and his Pokemon with the resealing, May even taking initiative, literally standing on Regigigas' head, you know, helping it coordinate, you know, where things should go and what things should go where. Just like for the perfect sealing, never to erupt for a long time. Like, probably after they've already long been dead, will it ever erupt. Now that it's been perfectly sealed with the help of Regigigas, the freaking Torah of the continents. So, yeah. And even Ultra Necrozma seems to have died down a bit, you know, with the presence of all the different Reggies just there, and, you know, kind of all the presence of them combined, plus Regigigas, is kind of like dimming down the presence of Ultra Necrozma, but the only way to really do that is if the energy was splitting the pieces that make Necrozma, Ultra Necrozma, away from it. And then basically out bursting from Ultra Necrozma, the two pieces that do exactly that. And even the totem that is used to help with the transformation with so much energy around it, and Regigigas finally just releasing this ultimate, like, battle cry, finally gets it to burst, the totem completely destroyed. And with the totem gone, that's the last straw. It reverts back to Necrozma, and All For One decides to unleash a Pokemon of his own to take his frustrations out on the now de-transformed Necrozma. Basically, Volcanion, come out here, freaking fire blast this asshole. And, you know, Necrozma not actually expecting this, thinking that, you know, loyalty, like, some amount of respect. And Volcanion, like, charging up a super big-ass freaking fire blast, just, like, smacks straight into Necrozma, is actually also breaking the Pokeball that it was stored in. And Necrozma, knowing better than to just try to fight this on, now that everything has gone basically to shit, and basically goes off somewhere, God knows where. And, you know, All For One's basically just like, return Volcanion, getting the hell out of here. And Shigaraki's just like, oh, no you don't. And just like runs up there and like, what is the meaning of this, master? Like, what is the meaning of this? Why did you have me knocked out? And All For One just decides to pull an ultimate Getsus and be like, you really have no idea, do you? I have no idea what's been going on. Dude, I've been playing you like a fiddle ever since I first met you. And Shigaraki, that just releases it. That releases the mental hold. Because All For One just admitted it, knowing that he has no longer need for, like, Shigaraki's services. Because he believes him to be completely inadequate to be able to do anything. He literally thinks that little of him. Now that everything is, like, gone, like, went and gone. And this pisses Izuku off, pisses Plusle off, and even, out of nowhere, pisses Minam off. And plus, on mine, even do like a tag team Thunderbolt, like Nuclear Thunderbolt, tag team Nuclear Thunderbolt, and actually hit All For One with it. And he's just like, fuck! Like, this is bad. And Shigaraki's just like, yeah. He's like, it's hard for him to comprehend what he just got told. Basically, he's been played like a fiddle ever since, the two of them met. And then all of a sudden, smoke bombs are just dropped. And basically, all of the admins, they take care of All For One. Basically, have him, transported somewhere along with them. Almost like a helo. Like a giant-ass super helo. Just transporting them out of there. With no real scent to go by, seeing as all the mayhem caused a super disruption in most of the Pokemon senses that were around the immediate area. So they can't even trust the senses of other Pokemon to find these guys, track their helo down. Super helo. And so basically they just lost All For One. But there is one that they left behind. The one just got told how useless he was to All For One. And, Shigaraki would just be like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's whenever a portal would just come out of nowhere, and basically Darkrai would just be like, there would just be a Darkrai there. And Izuku would be like, a Darkrai? And Darkrai would be like, shh. I'm doing this for the benefit of you guys, if you believe me or not. Young Master has indeed been through a lot of problems. And a lot of things that, about Lord All For One, I don't approve of. What just happened now being one of them. Yeah. Especially in the manner in which he did it. The fact that he did it at all actually irks me. But I know better than to actually voice my opinion out to Lord All For One. And considering he's just not being transported, he won't be able to hear anything that I say. So, focus, Shigaraki, on your inner thoughts. Are you Shigaraki, or are you someone else? And, Shigaraki's just like, I'm the grandson of Nana Shimura. I am Tanko Shimura. I have been played for most of my life to be a loyal, subservient little tool for that asshole. And Izuku's just like, well, at least you got it sooner than later. I would hate what to think of if that had gone on for any longer. It might be irreversible what actually was going on. And Shigaraki's just like, I can't even actually believe I'm saying this, but Izuku, I need your help. And Izuku's like, well, as long as we can come to a mutual understanding of what we basically have to deal with now. And Shigaraki's like, I think I know what you mean. And anything to finally get back my life and finish his, considering his pursuit of his damn goals. It makes me sick thinking that I was actually his puppet. I allowed myself to become that. And he's just like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. Shake on it? And Tanko's just like, shake on it. And, this shaking on basically means Plushle actually gets reunited with its sibling, Minun. And Tango actually even goes into a very in-depth apology about what happened to Minun. And even for separating Minun from its, you know, basically, sibling for so long. And having the few times that it did, meet its sibling, having to fight against them instead of being able to be free with them. But no more. Now things are going to be different. For example, Shigaraki decides to basically be the equivalent of a mainstay, allowing Bakugo to just go wherever he wants to and reappear only whenever he feels like, or they just run into him randomly. And Shoto and Mina are just like, Izuku, are you really okay with this? And Izuku's like, well, all in favor say aye, all in not favor say nay. And Shoto's like, well, he did give me a second chance, so aye. And Mina's like, well, I mean, he did live a really hard life just being a puppet for that awful one guy. And even though he did some pretty mean things, I can't imagine what it would be like to live that kind of life. And then just have the curtain pull from underneath you. Like that. So unforgivingly, somewhat unceremoniously. Aye. That's 2 eyes. Guys, that's 2 eyes. And I say aye. That's 3. A total of 3 eyes, and Kachan, considering, well, what I just said, you're allowed to do whatever, and your opinion really doesn't matter, as you're no longer a part of this group at all. And Bakugo's like, good, I'm glad. I really don't like you at all. I'm really going to admit that because I do not give a shit. And, Shigaraki's just like, so, friend circle? And he's just like, nah, with the number of people here, it's more like a friend square. Before that, and even before Bakugo came along, it was more like a friend triangle. And I would, like, Tenko would be like, that's actual funny. And basically all the Reggies are like, saying their piece in their own language, and they just fly off in their different directions, going back wherever they were. And, Regigigas is just like there. And just looks off in the far distance, and then just finally, it just goes away. And, like, Tenko's like, he wants to satiate his curiosity. He was wondering what Regigigas was looking at. So he goes, basically, off in the direction, and he sees basically a fatigued Necrozma. And Izuku's like, wow, this just took a turn for the whoa, holy shit, what is that? Oh wait, that's Necrozma. And, Tenko's like, this only happened to you because of me. I'm sorry, Necrozma. And Necrozma would just give him a look like, why are you apologizing? It's not your fault. It's that asshole's fault who freaking pulled the sheet from right underneath you. And so, yeah. basically, Tanko actually ends up coming up with something. He's whispering to Izuku. He's like, Izuku, I realize that Tapu Koko has been following you around a lot. And you ever think of actually what you were told recently actually means? And then he's just like, he has that knowing expression. Oh, you mean about... mischievous? And, Shigaraki's just like, yeah. And mischievous just seems to be relatively happy around May, just be finally to see their friend again. And Izuku's just like, yeah, I actually have been thinking about that. I think it would be nice if we let Mischievous be able to be reunited. And Shiraki's actually like, Tenko's actually like, I've been thinking the relative same thing, but in a different way, about one of my Pokemon. And he's just like, and which one would that be? And Tenko's like, thank you, Izuku. What's that building over there? And Izuku's just like, oh wait, that's a Pokemon daycare. And Shigaraki's just like, a call that I got about the Sneasel that the team had relatively acquired. It doesn't feel right. What if there was a past with that Sneasel? Weavile now? What if being around me the way I was before, what if it did something that affected its life in a bad way? And it's just like, so you're saying you want to give Sneasel to the daycare? And Shigaraki, Tenko just has to remind him, Weavile. Anyways, well, I think the daycare hands over there could use a hand, or claws. Just pops Sneasel, Weavile out. Just like, Weavile, I have something I need to tell you. And something, Izuku might need to tell is mischievous. And basically, Tenko tells Weavile about, how it was acquired and how it doesn't feel right to just keep it around anymore. And, Weavile actually tears up at this. And he's like, where is it gonna go? And, almost like reading freaking Weavile's mind, he's like, oh, I have a place for you to go where you'll be taken care of relatively well. I believe the people there are very nice. Very nice people. And Weavile was like, well, where? Who people? Well, I love people. And, Tenko's like, well, follow me, Weavile. And Weavile was just like, well, wait, what's it? This place is... And, Tenko's like, yep, Pokemon daycare. I trust that if I gave you the final assignment of a helping hand, considering the people at the daycare, they're not as spry as they used to be. They're a relatively old couple, so they would probably need all the help that they could get. And I'm sure they would take care of you any time that need be. And Levi would be like, yes, sir. You're just like, this is a chance to make up for all the bad that was done. And, well, Weavile actually does figure out that it does like these people, this married couple, this, well, relatively, elderly couple, and that helping with the daycare actually seems fun. Some of the Pokemon are a little difficult to work with, but, not all of these are long stays in the daycare. Some of these are new arrivals, and they may not be comfortable, around a Pokemon. First of all, most dark types aren't usually liked, and so we all can kind of understand. Man, we all kind of gets this, plan to sort of worm its way into the hearts of not only this old couple running the daycare, but the Pokemon that are going to be coming in, finding a way to let them know that it's not here to hurt them, it's actually here to do the opposite, to help the couple, the old married couple, with taking care of them. So it's not a foe, it is a friend. Almost like a big happy family. And, well, the elderly couple actually do accept with open arms Weavile into their company as a little helper for the daycare. And they do indeed promise Tenko that they will indeed take care of Weavile as if it was just another one of the Pokemon in the daycare. And knowing that Weavile will be taken care of, Tenko, with a big sigh of relief, finally begins to realize that Izuku's actually getting down to business with one of his Pokemon as well. Basically, and also talking with May, basically getting down to the nitty-gritty, biting the bullet and basically being like, I think Mischievous should stay with you, May. I mean, after all, it's a dead version, a dead Pokemon. It used to be your best friend, basically. I only think it would, be wrong to, keep away. And I understand that, Mischievous, you might think this is, me abandoning you, but really, I think it's for the best. For the both of you. You might find that you actually relatively like staying here. Regardless of the volcano, but, hey, resecured and better than ever. Right? Right, May? And May's like, yes, sirree. And, Mischievous is like, okay. It was fun while it lasted. And he was like, yeah, it was fun while it lasted. And basically, now that Izuku has made the, sacrifice of losing Mischievous, and Tenko has made the sacrifice of losing Weavile, two things happen. One thing being that Tapu Koko actually goes up to Izuku and is like, take a bow, like kowtowing. It's freaking kowtowing to Izuku, like, teach me in your way, sensei. like that shit. And Izuku, like slowly with Plusle's help is beginning to understand what this gesture, everything about this gesture means. Even to the fact where Tapu Koko, before Izuku's actually able to do anything, actually grabs a Pokeball from Izuku's bag. This Pokeball previously being Mischievous' Pokeball, but now that Mischievous is no longer a part of the party, and Tapu Koko's looking at Izuku with these determined eyes, it's almost like the eyes of a little servant of a feudal lord. Someone who would gladly risk their lives for the continued existence of said feudal lord. And Izuku's like, Tapu Koko recognizes me as someone that important that it would lay down its life and even be captured? And Izuku's just like, and his entire world has just been blown open, and like the foundations have just been rocked beyond belief. He's just like, you want to be with me, buddy? For realsies this time? And Tapu Koko just giving him a look like, for realsies this time, master. And Izuku's like, don't give me that look. I don't just want to seem like your master. I want us to be able to be friends. Still be able to be friends, even though you would be in the Pokeball. And Tapu Koko would be like, they would have a shared agreement, like a little nod, a knowing nod from both of them. Like, not as master and servant, but as friend to another friend. Willing to assist with whatever. And even protect when needed to be, protected. Like a very close friend. Not just a friend, but a very, very, very close friend. Close enough to lay down their life for that friend. And Izuku's like, it's only fair if he were to do the same. So he promises to Tapu Koko that since Tapu Koko is so willing now, he promises that he will do the same if the need ever does indeed arrive. And basically, Tapu Koko's like, man, you really are different, buddy. You really are different. And so they just even have themselves a little bromance hug. And basically, Tapu Koko basically having... Why do I have the urge to call Tapu Koko Taco Coco? Taco Coco Pebbles. I don't know what it is about its name, but damn it. Basically, and the contact in between them, like hugging, like the Pokeball in between the two of them, the moment this happens, the push against the button opens the Pokeball, and Tapu Koko just lets it happen. A ray of red light absorbing it into the Pokeball shutting them out automatically, and there isn't even a wiggle around. No, like 1, 2, 3 wiggle, just automatically click. Not even any music. The scene itself is paying way too much respect for there to be music afterwards. It's just like a moment of silence in which these two have finally come to know each other as true friends. And now, in the place of Mischievous, Tapu Koko has now joined the party. And there's even this scene in between the now very downtrodden, very, even worse off now Tenko. Really, he knows that he's part of the friend group now, but he's lost a friend of his own, Wasn't all that much of a relationship like that before, but now he feels like, there could have been time better spent where he could have actually been making a true bond with his Pokemon instead of, just being all for one's lapdog, basically. And, well, Necrozma realizes this, basically giving Tenko that look like, I know what you're thinking. You know what I'm thinking, don't you? And, Tenko just giving him that look like, no frickin' way. And Necrozma is like, well, what do I have to lose? My siblings definitely hate me. I mean, the whole Ultra Necrozma thing, do you really think that's something that they find, comfortable? I don't think so. And even, especially the totem is destroyed, so what do I have left to lose? Plus, it's not even that, Necrozma, Necrozma was generally surprised that Tenko actually cared enough to actually, try to see if Necrozma was okay once they found him. And so Necrozma's like, if Tapu Koko can do it, damn it, If Tapu Koko can do it, I can freaking do it. I accept. Like, it's just that knowing look that says, I accept. Challenge accepted. Tenko just like, yeah, the challenge of friendship accepted on both ends. Izuku with Tapu Koko now, and me with you now, my friend. Want to shake on it? And Tenko finds himself regretting this because, well, regretting this and also not regretting it at the same time. Because, friendship bonding, that's the not regretting. The part that he's regretting is, well, the fact that he had no idea how strong freaking Necrozma's handshake power was going to be. It's like beware, but instead of spine, it's his arm. He literally has a broken arm, and like Ultra Necrozma's like panicking. Not Ultra Necrozma. Necrozma is like flipping its shit. Like, I did not mean to do that. I am so damn sorry. And even though like Tenko was in like real damn pain, he's like, no, it's fine, buddy. It's fine. And the Necrozma rushing over there doesn't even realize that Weavile's previous Pokeball is like right there, and it brushes past the button, and it just gets sucked in unawares, so unawares that it actually gets surprised whenever it realizes, oh shit, I just ended up in a Pokeball. Well, I wanted this anyways, so might as well make myself comfortable. And Tenko's just like, wow, that was relatively easy, except for the part where my arm broke. But otherwise, other than that, no freaking hard feelings. Plus, that pretty much makes me 1-to-1 even with Izuku now. He got the strongest out of the freaking Island Guardians, Tapu Koko. And, good lord, I have the freaking strongest out of, like, the three, true, powerful legendaries of the freaking Alola region, a Pokemon that literally comes from the Ultra Wormholes themselves, freaking Necrozma. Plus, I think I remember, hearing something earlier about one of Izuku's Pokemon evolving, and not knowing he said that part out loud, Izuku, just interjects then and is like, oh, shit, your arm, but yeah, indeed, one of my Pokemon did evolve, and that was actually during a gym battle. My Muna evolved into a Musharna. Now, let's help with your arm. And, well, indeed, excited about the fact that Izuku's Pokemon, Muna, finally evolved into a Musharna. It's like, how in the hell are you going to help me with my arm? And it's like my good arm, so yeah. And not good arm as in fapping arm. No, that's my other arm, not my good arm. My good arm as in, actually just being my good arm all around. The other arm, not my good arm, is my fapping arm. If I were to fap, that is. And he was like, TMI, man, TMI. Way too much damn TMI. And Tenko's just like, and, freaking true, very true. Anyways, how I'm going to help you? Well, I don't think it'd be so hard to accept a helping hand. Let's see. I have any berries left? Oh, these are nice. I don't exactly know what they're called, but it's said that berries with this in particular look have properties that mix very well with the dream mist. And I just have to put you under. And before Tenko can even object to this, he's like, Musharna, come out! And Musharna just right in front of him, and Tenko doesn't even get enough time to try to hold his breath. It's there's right under, freaking antiseptic, putting him under. And he's like, okay, Musharna, now I'm gonna need your help, mixing these berries up with a lucid form of your dream mist. This should take the negative effects out and actually add some positive effects relative to the specific target of said area. And Musharna's like, just looks at the arm, looks like Tenko's arm, and it's like, oh, that intended target. Well then, let's get to making. And it turns out that basically, Plusle, actually looking at the berries, is actually able to tell Izuku, like mime to Izuku, the name of the berries. And these are actually called healing mist berries. They're relatively new to certain volcanic areas. They can grow over top of certain set amounts of volcanic ash. Instead of using natural fertilizer, using the ash as the fertilizer to take out any impurities and put it in the ash, while the fruit itself, the berry itself, takes on more pure qualities in order for the desired reaction to be, well, there and not be poisonous to the human body. And even with the potential to be able to mix with dream mist and even certain forms of lucid dream mist as a special way of actually healing severe injuries, such as broken bones. Even multiple broken bones if you were make a strong enough blend. And that is indeed what Izuku does. So he basically just has these healing mist berries and mixing them up with like a blend of dream mist and lucid dream mist, getting all the impurities out, because that's basically basically a good thing that these berries can indeed be used for. And basically, it's like Izuku's like, anybody got a syringe? And well, not all that surprising. Nay, liking, how she likes to tinker with her little tinker toys. She's like, oh, you mean this? And he's like, yes, that is exactly what a syringe is. And he's like, thank you. Yoink. It's like, yoink. At least he said thank you. And he's just like, okay. Do your thing, Musharna. And then the blend is just spilled into the syringe. And he's like, okay, he's still under, so this won't hurt. And at least until he's awake. There's going to be a numb feeling, and then it's going to hurt like a bitch whenever he finally regains the ability to feel in his arm for a while. And in the meantime, we should probably stay here. And then whenever everyone's back up to stat, including Shigaraki, Tenko, is back up to stat himself, we will indeed take on the gem. But until then, we're basically going to stay here. And no one seemed to really have any objections to that, so that's the plan. And basically that's going to be the end of part 17. And good God, over an hour. But it's so worth it because Season 2, babies! Season 2!